As we all know, Donald J. Trump is a sex trafficking pedophile, and he went to Epstein's Island multiple times. He was Jeffrey Epstein's best friend. He was actually one of the leaders, one of the ringleaders of the whole trafficking operation. It was Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump, Jean-Luc Brunel, and John Casablancas. Jean-Luc Brunel mysteriously died by hanging in his prison cell. Jeffrey Epstein mysteriously died by hanging in his prison cell. John Casablancas died of natural causes. The only one left standing is Donald Trump. And he believes that he can hide his, his pedophilic nature, but he really can't. Trevor Noah from The Daily Show, he was giving a speech at the Grammys. He was emceeing the Grammys, and he threw out, what everybody fucking knows, which is Donald Trump went to Epstein's Island. And Trump had a fucking crash out, posted 2 times on Truth Social. I haven't refreshed it. Maybe he even posted again. I'm going to double check real quick. Just crashing the fuck out, threatening to sue Trevor Noah, threatening to get him off the air, threatening to do what he did to Jimmy Kimmel, but to Trevor Noah. Granted, what he did to Jimmy Kimmel didn't fucking work. So we're going to be talking about that. On top of that, we have what have we learned in the most recent Epstein files? Like a whole bunch of shit, involving Steve Tisch, the guy who runs, what is that? Is it the New York Giants or the Jets? Something like that. He's involved in sports. Prince Andrew, as we all know, Bill Clinton, a whole lot of shit just came out. Elon Musk, he's got a weird-ass fucking email. Elon Musk was begging Jeffrey to let him go to the island, and they literally pretended like the pedophile cabal had, ended just so that they didn't have to hang out with Elon Musk because he's such a fucking loser. Even the pedophile cabal doesn't want to hang out with him. Yankees. Or Giants, whatever. Go fuck yourself, guys. And then we're going to look at one of these little Epstein things that I covered in one of my recent videos, and it's so fucking heinous, I don't even know if I'm going to get away with reading it out loud, but we're going to try. We are going to try. Anyway, before we do start, hi, how you doing? I'm Chris Valenti. Welcome to the Valenti VOD. This is real independent media. I've never had a conversation with a sponsor or an advertiser or a government or a PAC or a billionaire or any of that shit that you're fucking used to, okay? So if you do want to support this channel financially, because dissidents of the regime do not make much money here, there's a couple of ways that you could help me out. Financially, you could get posters like the Democratic Socialist poster, the Duty Calls poster. We got merch like hoodies and shirts and mugs, all that located down below. You can click the thanks button down below to tip me directly. You can click the join button down below to become a member of the channel for $5. That'll give you access to member-only content, and it'll give you access to some really cool emotes. And then the last way to help me out is by becoming a patron on Patreon. You can donate $1, $5, $10, whatever you want. A huge shout out to anybody who's ever donated $1 to this channel. You guys have given me the opportunity to have a job that I truly fucking love, and I am a megaphone for you. You gave me the platform, and I will make your voice fucking louder, because if there's one damn good thing I'm good at, it's telling a story and telling it loud. Other than that, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That shit costs you nothing and it helps me immensely. But without further ado, let's just dive in. First thing I want to show you is what Trevor Noah said at the Grammys, which, to be honest, it isn't even that fucking bad. Get a look.
That is a Grammy that every artist wants.
On the right side of the screen, you're seeing Trump's response. I'll be reading that for you afterwards.
Almost as much as Trump wants Greenland, which makes sense. I mean, because Epstein's island is gone, he needs a new one to hang out with Bill Clinton. So, oh, I told you it's my last year.
And also, you hear like the laughing and the cheering of the crowd, right? Don't forget that all of that in the crowd, that's all like Hollywood elite, right? And Trump was never accepted into that crowd. They always fucking hated him. The same thing happened in New York, right? He tried to be involved in that, I forgot the name, what they call that crowd, but like the crowd that goes to the wildly expensive dinners and the wildly expensive bars, like the very, very rich people, right? Trump has always wanted to be accepted into that crowd, but they always fucking hated him because he's a fat-bodied, closeted fucking fraud, right? My dad was a businessman, and he said that everybody knew not to do business with Donald Trump. You took pictures with Trump because the stupidest people in the world would see that picture and think that you're a good businessman, but you had to be retarded to actually go into business with Trump. He stiffs everybody. He's a terrible businessman. He goes bankrupt. He likes to steal. He's a son of a bitch, right? But so that's what Trevor Noah said. Very, pretty low key. I don't even think that's that big of a deal. And here is Trump's response. There's 2 posts. So here's the first post. The Grammy Awards are the worst, virtually unwatchable. CBS is lucky not to have this garbage litter their airwaves any longer. The host, Trevor Noah, whoever he may be, Bullshit. You know who Trevor Noah is. Why the fuck are you pretending like you don't know who Trevor Noah is? The host, Trevor Noah, whoever he may be, is almost as bad as Jimmy Kimmel at the low ratings Academy Awards. Now, there's a reason why I put up Jimmy Kimmel's name. It's because he's threatening to sue Trevor Noah and get him kicked off the air the way that he did to Jim Yum Killiam for like what? I think it was like a week or some shit. Almost as bad as Jimmy Kimmel at the low ratings Academy Awards. Noah said incorrectly about me that Donald Trump and Bill Clinton spent time on Epstein Island. Wrong! I can't speak for Bill, but I have never been to Epstein Island. That's a lie. This is a pedophile rapist who went to that island numerous times and raped multiple children. Nor anywhere close, and until tonight's false and defamatory statement, I have never been accused of being there, not even by the fake news media. Again, not true. You have been accused of being there so many fucking times. Noah, a total loser, better get his facts straight and get them straight fast. It looks like I'll be sending my lawyers to sue this poor, pathetic, talentless dope of an MC and suing him for plenty of money. Ask little George Slapadopoulos and others how that all worked out. Also ask CBS, get ready, Noah, I'm gonna have some fun with you. President DJT. I guarantee you he said this same statement to a little boy named Noah before he raped him. Guaranteed. That's probably why he's so capable of saying it off the rippity-bo-bippity. And then there was one other post that he had just made. Here it is. Not only wasn't I friendly with Jeffrey Epstein, but based upon information that has just been released by the Department of Justice, Epstein and a sleazebag lying author named Michael Wolff conspired in order to damage me and or my presidency. So much for the radical left's hope against hope, some of whom I'll be suing. Additionally, unlike so many people that like to talk trash, I never went to the infested Epstein Island, but almost all of these crooked Democrats and their donors did. You know, for somebody who has nothing to hide, you're really going on a fucking large defense here. Real strong defense from a guy who's trying to claim that he has absolutely fucking nothing to hide. Well, how about this, Donnie Diddles, kids? If you got nothing to hide, release the rest of the 6 million files. You're not going to do that because that last batch, it includes what you did to these kids after you raped them, which is murder. That's what you fucking did. I mean, some of us listen to the Sasha Riley tapes. I mean, half the reason why you shit your fucking pants all the time is because when you were raping somebody, they shoved a tent stake clean up there. And now you got a fucked up rectum. At least that's what it says according to the Sasha Riley files. Allegedly. Allegedly, Donald. Prove me wrong. Prove us all wrong. Come on. Prove us all fucking wrong. You dirty, disgusting piece of shit. All right, so now what have we learned from the recent Epstein files? We're going to read a lot of these headlines here. So, former Prince Andrew invited Epstein to Buckingham Palace after release from house arrest. So this is after Jeff was actually charged as a child rapist. Sarah Ferguson described Epstein as the brother she always wanted. That's Mountbatten Windsor's former wife, Sarah Ferguson. Why do they look like that? Who is that? I don't want to be I don't know if this person is a mental disability or not, so I don't want to like go too hard, but like, is that incest or is that like a you know, like a mental disability sort of thing? All right, doesn't matter. Epstein sent money to Peter Mandelson's husband. Epstein sent $10,000 to Lord Mandelson's husband, Reinaldo Avila da Silva, in the year after his conviction. The email suggests that this is a fund to an osteopathy course. The FBI received allegations about Donald Trump's links to Epstein. Elon Musk asked Epstein about parties on his island. One of them said, what day and night would be the wildest party on your island? Head of the LA Olympics Committee emailed Maxwell about massages and leather outfits. That's Casey Wasserman. New York Giants co-owner Steve Tisch mentioned hundreds of times. We read some of these emails where he said, this is Steve Tisch's official response to this. We had a brief association where we exchanged emails about adult women, and in addition, we discussed movies, philanthropy, and investments. I did not take him up on any of his invitations, and I never went to his island. As we all know now, he was a terrible person and someone I deeply regret associating with. I don't believe that. My audio's glitching? My audio is glitching, you say? No glitches for you guys? It's probably a glitch on your side or something. I don't really know. Can't really help you. We're good. Epstein lawyers discussed the possibility of cooperation with prosecutors days before his death. So that this is just more proof that he was assassinated because he was getting ready to actually work alongside them. FBI and prosecutors met with Epstein's attorneys, who in very general terms discussed the possibility of a resolution of the case and the possibility of the defendant's cooperation. So this is why Donald Trump had him assassinated, is because he was about to actually tell the fucking truth on all of this. All right, now we're going to read one of the emails here. So not only is this an email, so you have to read it from bottom up, but Jeffrey Epstein was Mossad, and Mossad is Israeli, and in Israel they speak Hebrew, so we're going to have to read this in reverse. That's a joke. That's a stupid joke, but, you know, all right, regardless. Let's read it from the bottom up here. Now, I don't even know if this is real or not, but I'm going to roll with it and pretend it is. So from Elon Musk to Jeffrey Epstein, epic island vacation is the subject. Hi, Jeff. I was thinking of flying down for an epic vacation. Blank told me you were planning a party. Girls FTW! I cleared my calendar. What are the details? Thank you, good sir. Part of the reason why I believe this is real is because this is exactly how Elon Musk talks. He's like, you know, an absolute fucking loser. So that is very believable. So then that email is forwarded from Jeffrey Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell. Right? And he says, deal with this. Thank you. This is where it's hilarious. Ghislaine Maxwell then responds to Elon Musk and says, I'm so sorry, Elon. You just missed Jeff. He actually told me he was thinking of winding down the entire Little St. James operation. Bummer. If it starts up again, we'll be sure to let you know. That's not true. They didn't tone down the operation. Elon Musk is just so fucking weird, such a fucking creep, such a fucking loser, so fucking annoying that even the Epstein class billionaire child rapists didn't want to hang out with him. Do you understand what that is? That's like being so racist and demented that like the actual Nazi party of Germany was like, nein, we do not like to affiliate ourselves with it. It's like there was a fucking, there was a goddamn newspaper back in the day in Nazi Germany, newspaper that was, what the fuck was it called? It was even too far for the Nazis. I think it was called Der Stürmer, right? Yeah, Der Stürmer. Yeah, it gives Der Stürmer type shit. So there in Nazi Germany, there was this newspaper called Der Stürmer, and it was so fucking egregious that the Nazis didn't even want to be affiliated with it. That's the type of shit that we're talking about. It's like Elon Musk is so fucking annoying and gross and pathetic and a loser that the most fucked up people on this planet didn't even want to hang out with him. That's the reality, bro. It's disgusting. It's so fucking disgusting. Okay, now the last thing I want to show you was compiled by Midas Touch, and it's being covered by Brute America here. This is verified news here. We're going to read this. I'm going to try my best to read this. Serious trigger warning here. I know a lot of you consider yourselves to be tough and like you're used to fucked up shit. This is disgusting. This is fucking disgusting what we're about to read, okay? I'm going to have to use TikTok language, okay? You know, I'm gonna have to use TikTok language, like unalive instead of kill type shit, because this is heinous. All right, please prepare yourself. Take this seriously. These are from some of the recent Epstein page. By the way, when these were released, the DOJ, like people like me, started to cover it. They immediately deleted it. Because I don't think that they meant to do this, because you know these files are being run by the Department of Justice and the FBI. It's like fucking Kash Patel and Pam Bondi. They're fucking retarded. They don't know what they're doing. All right, here we go. Complainant reported his ex-girlfriends blank and blank were victims of Epstein's, and one was murdered while working as a limousine driver. Complainant recalled picking up Donald Trump in 1995 to take him to Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. During that ride, complainant recalled some of the things that Trump spoke about on his cell phone were very concerning and described being, quote, a few seconds from pulling the limousine over the median and within a few seconds of pulling him out of the car and hurting him due to some of the things he was saying. Complainant noted Trump repeatedly stated the name Jeffrey while on the phone. One of the complainant's ex-girlfriends, Blank, told complainant Trump raped her, as did Epstein. Oh, what did I just do? Next photo. Okay. Blank reported an unidentified female friend who was forced to perform oral sex on President Trump approximately 35 years ago in New Jersey. The friend told Alexis that she was approximately 13 to 14 years old when this occurred, and the friend allegedly bit President Trump while performing oral sex. The friend was allegedly hit in the face after she laughed about biting President Trump. The friend said she was also abused by Epstein. Online complainant reported she was a victim and witness to a sex trafficking ring at the Trump golf course in Rancho Palos Verdes, California between 1995 and 1996. Complainant reported Ghislaine Maxwell as the madam and broker for sex parties, clients whom included Epstein, Robin Leach, and Donald Trump. Complainant reported participating in orgies and that some girls went missing, rumored to have been murdered and buried at the facility. Complainant reported being threatened by Trump's then head of security that if she ever talked of what went on here or who she was, he would, quote, end up as fertilizer for the back 9 holes like the other cunts. I need body sniffing dogs at every single Trump golf course. Friendly reminder that this, what I'm about to tell you, isn't conspiracy. This is confirmed. Trump's first wife, who mysteriously died, is buried in an unmarked grave at one of his golf courses so that he could pay less taxes, because now it's a cemetery. That's the type of man we're talking about. I need body-sniffing dogs at every single Trump golf course in this fucking world, not just this nation, even the ones in the fucking UK, looking for these bodies. Because I firmly believe this is the shit that they've been doing, bro. Snuff films were very popular in, like, fascist societies. It became very popular in the early 1900s in Germany. I think that's what they were doing. I think that at the end of all of this, they turned they put these kids in the ground. I think they put these kids in the ground. More. This is the one we just read. This is the next one. Complainant following up after a call with NYPD officer regarding her previous tip, reporting that she was forced to perform sex acts when she was 13 years old and pregnant in 1984. Complainant also reported that there were high-profile individuals involved in her sex trafficking and the murder and disposal of her newborn daughter. So this is the person who claimed that her own uncle and Donald Trump and a whole bunch of other pedophilic elites raped her when she was pregnant, and then when the baby was born, Donald Trump and one other man were present to take that baby, murder it, and dispose of it in Lake Michigan. You heard me right. That's what I just said. That is what is in the files. Let's keep on reading. Complainant reported Donald Trump participated regularly in paying money to force her to perform sex acts with him, and alleged that Trump was present when her uncle murdered her newborn child. Now, again, the only reason why her uncle would probably have done that is if it was his child. All right, more. Caller reported that in 1987, a friend, Victim 1, was out drinking and ended up at Trump Plaza. Victim 1 saw Donald Trump and wanted to meet him. An unknown man approached her and offered to introduce her to Trump. The unknown man gave Victim 1 a drink, and Victim 1 woke up naked and sore with $300 on the bed. Victim 1 didn't remember how she got to the room. She remembered seeing a flash of Trump's face. Victim 1 called the caller and told her she thought she had been raped. Victim 1 did not go to the hospital to have a rape kit performed because she didn't think anyone would believe her, especially because she was drunk. Victim 1's husband's business had problems with suppliers, and Victim 1 believed Trump was behind it. Victim 1 also started dating a lawyer, identifiers unknown, who was married. Victim 1 had a fight with her lawyer boyfriend and went to a bar. Victim 1 left a bar with a man who no one in the bar recognized but who seemed familiar with Victim 1. Victim 1 was never seen again. A few years ago, remains were discovered that matched the description of what Victim 1 was wearing when she went missing. DNA tests at the time were inconclusive. Donald Trump, the president, had parties at Mar-a-Lago called Calendar Girls. Okay, This is the one that is so unbelievably disgusting. I'm going to have to use TikTok language. This one is so unbelievably disgusting. And I would like to remind you that when we read these files, we feel disgust and enraged. When conservatives read these files, they feel jealousy and they feel turned on because they love this shit. Conservatives love pedophilia. They had a bigger problem with Trump having potentially blown Bill Clinton than with him having potentially raped children. And this is because conservatives are Bible thumpers. They believe that as soon as a child has their first period, it means that they're ready. That's what these people are. People in quotes, okay? Here we go. Donald Trump, the president, had parties at Mar-a-Lago called Calendar Girls. Jeffrey Epstein would bring the children in and Trump would auction them off. He measured the children's blank, their private parts, by entering a finger and rated the children on tightness. The guests were elder men and included Elon Musk, Don Jr., Donald Trump, Ivanka Trump, and Eric Trump. Attorney Alan Dershowitz was also there with attorney Bob Shapiro. They were taken in rooms, forced to give oral sex to Donald J. Trump, forced to allow them to penetrate us. I was 13 years old when Donald J. Trump raped me. Ghislaine Maxwell was also present. I need every single Trump supporter to understand that this stuff is you now. I don't care if you never went to the island. I don't care if you've never done anything to a child. If you are capable of supporting this, you are one of them, and you will do what they did. You will do that. If you're capable of defending this, look me in my eyes. If you are capable of defending this, you are subhuman. I mean that. You do not deserve human rights. You should be treated like an animal, and not in a good way. Ladies and gentlemen, the United States of America has fallen to a pedophilic death cult that worships a billionaire sex trafficking child rapist. And every single person who wears that red hat is complacent. Every single person who voted for Donald Trump is a collaborator of the billionaire pedophile cabal. All of them. Not one of you is innocent. If I were you, I'd burn the hat, I'd get rid of all the photos, and I would live a life of shame, and I would pretend that I never supported this in the first place. Because admitting that you did is going to be the equivalent of going into your grandfather's attic and finding a swastika. You are not men. You are not humans. Anyway, that's all I got for you. If you're here live, you stay. We got to make a thumbnail. If you're watching this pre-recorded, thank you very much for tuning into the Valenti VOD. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing, and it helps me immensely. Do me one last favor. Click that video right over there. It's a banger, and I know bangers.